Hello and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, Satisfactory. Just got an update today as well, so very, very nice. Um, so yeah, a few things are going to happen this episode. Um, the first being we're going to be checking out some of the new stuff from the new update that they just added. Hopefully it'll work on this. If not, then we'll just disregard this entire episode and a different episode will be up. Um, First thing of note, obviously, got my biggest and only fan. Only fans. Oh dear. Um, yeah, so got my biggest fan here. Always with me, always making noise, always interrupting the videos and all that stuff with the wind. And it's keeping me cool. Today's the last day that's going to be hot, so that'll be really, really nice when it cools down a little bit. So, at least for a little while. I don't know. I think it's going to go right back up to being hot again but we'll get a few days. So one of the things is update 6 has finally went to the early access. It's now out of the experimental branch. So currently the experimental branch and the early access branch are the same, which is really really nice. So it finally got released to early access, and now you can play with the new stuff if you didn't want to do the experimental branch and have a buggy game and whatnot. But yeah, a huge update just dropped today. So yeah, we're going to be checking out some of the new stuff, which they didn't list new stuff other than like one thing that is new from what we've been playing with. So that thing is in the awesome shop over here. One thing I did want to check out. Hopefully no copyrighted stuff in this. That probably gave it away, but management's probably not in here. Foundation's probably not in here either. Oh man, they didn't add any new foundation stuff. I was hoping they would. Maybe one day. No new buildables there. Obviously, we've been trying to purchase this stuff, but fix it special. So now we've got the boom box. Let's go grab some tickets, shall we? We should have plenty. And we got 13. Oh, that's a very unlucky number. Hold on. We need to fix that. What should we fix that with? How about a stack of supercomputer session? That should definitely kick over a few tickets, right? There you go, buddy. Yeah, there we go. Oh my gosh, so that gave us a couple of tickets. Okay. So yeah, we got a new boombox, so we're going to be checking this thing out. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that tape costs 0. Oh, it's okay, yeah, because they also make Goat Sim, didn't they? So I want all this, please. Is that it? Okay, that is it. Good. Well, I think you unlock the tapes. You don't have to carrying them around in your inventory, but that seems fine. That's actually pretty good. I want to keep my coffee. I like my coffee. I like coffee. Oh. But he has the remote. Like, huh. Interesting. Open the menu. No tape loaded. Change tape. It's playing. My audio might be busted. Let's see here. Options. Audio. Music volume. That sounds pretty good, actually. What? Can you put it like down, or do you have to carry it? Oh, put down boombox. Okay. So yeah, we got ourselves a boombox. Very nice. Oh. Oops. Okay, so that's how you pause play. Look at that. Wait, can you mix? It's got 2 tape decks. Can we mix? 2 tape things. Equip boombox. Change tape. Let's see what else we got. It's hard to hear. There you go. Got some tunes, I guess. What about that song? Oh, that's good. Spatial. It's got audio. Yeah, look at us. We can fly around with our boombox. It's actually pretty nice. I wonder if you could do like if they'll allow custom tapes. That would be pretty cool. That's picking up, huh? Actually, this is a nice little touch. Oh, look, the speakers. They actually move and work like a speaker does. Well, that's really nice. Heck yeah, man. I'm liking this. I want to put it down right. Yeah. Oh. Sounds good, though. Is this from another game they made? It's very, very possible. I'm gonna put this down like in the office area here. I don't know if I put it down here, will it? Nope. Change tape. What else we got? We got classic Michael. Okay, can we just put it down here? Yes, we can. I like this. This is a nice little touch. A nice little change of pace. I put it right down here. Yeah, that fits. That sounds pretty good. I like it. Oh wait, oops. I am liking this. Again, if any of this is copyrighted, I will be mad, but it's fine. Copyright claimed, whatever. Hopefully it's not, but you never know. Ooh, that's nice. That is nice. That's nice. I like that. That's a nice little touch. Wait, what the? Oh, is this the new music? Oh my gosh, the autosave. Oh, this is the new music for the, Oh, that's very, very loud. Hold on. Audio. Let's turn that down. Put it to 50. Okay, and apparently I don't know if you get if you can buy all the tapes here. I don't know how that's gonna work, but apparently, yeah, there's more tapes out in the world you can find as well. That was one of the things of note. I don't think there's anything new beyond that, other than no. Unfortunately, no. Nothing new here. Transport. Nothing new here. Of course, they would have said something. Let's see. Nothing new there. I don't think there's anything new here. I don't think there's anything new here either. It would have been. You would have to unlock an awesome shop, but yeah, nice new little radio. No new equipment or anything like that. Just the same stuff we've already seen, or we've been seeing. But yeah, so those are the new ammo types. Obviously, you've already seen that, the Nobelisks and all that. We're still going to be working on that. I don't know if we're going to do that at this episode or not. Okay, so what we want to do is actually going to turn that down just a little bit more. Maybe to like 30. Yeah. If I got a copyright claim, oh well. It's a pretty nice change. It's worth it. It's fine. But yeah, that is a pretty nice change. I am liking that. And they did obviously they did some fixes and stuff, but did they fix the map? Please tell me they fixed the map. They did. They did fix the map. Finally, I can get rid of this stupid icon I placed here. I couldn't remove that marker. Okay, yeah, so now we can go, if we wanted to still do that copper thing, we can go, okay, that's a normal node, so that's not really worth it. That's also a normal node, that wasn't really worth it. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, I don't see anything else that's new. That's new stuff that we haven't seen before. As well. So it's like, yeah, there's some new stuff on the experimental, but we've been playing on the experimental, so we got all this stuff that's pretty much new, except for the boombox, of course. That is a nice touch, though. Okay. So now that we kind of looked at that in game, I guess. Wait, do we still have tickets? Oh, we still have 7 tickets. Let's spend the rest of them tickets, shall we? Over here in the customizer. So 3, 6. File. If we had one more ticket, we could. Yeah, I don't want to put my supercomputer, all my supercomputers in there. I need something else. Let's grab a few stacks of a few things. So, gotta grab a stack of batteries, why not? A stack of radio control units, sure. That's not really worth it. That's not, those aren't really worth it. Those aren't really worth it. These might be, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Let's see. These are really worth it, but I'm not going to do it. Those are so damn expensive all the time. Yeah, sure. Let's give us a couple stacks of some stuff, and we'll move on here. And then you can have that. Yeah, that's going to turn on our factory a little bit. And look at the jumping points. We're currently doing about 4.5 to 5,000. Then it just jumps to 1,172,650. Oh, there goes those. Just wow. all that got us 2 tickets, it looks like. But I only want to spend the 2 for now. And then we'll have to wait until we get 6 more tickets, and then we can purchase that last one. And factory zones and stuff. Yeah, I don't see anything new on the map itself. Like, you still can't toggle these. I would like to be able to toggle these on and off, like individually. Like if I click this one, it should untoggle them entirely, rather than, and these should also toggle on and off as well. So I can be like, okay, well, I only want to search for uranium. I only want that to show on the map. The uranium nodes I've discovered with my radio towers. That would be nice, rather than just turning them all off. That'd be a nice little quality of life thing. Yeah, I don't know if yeah, they still haven't added any nodes or anything, unfortunately. What's this? Geyser pier. Oh, that's right. We unlocked the ability to search for geysers because we have the geothermal plants now that we can build, which I won't be building. they're kind of useless, really. Okay. Yeah, we're making nobelisks. We need 200, 5, 6, 700 nobelisks, and then we can unlock the rest of the stuff. So let's go check those out just real quick. Yeah, I don't see anything else new. Hopefully these are not bugged anymore. I don't know if they fixed those or not. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to ever use them again. I don't think there was, from what we've seen, there wasn't anything else of note, or from what I read. Most of it was just explaining what the new stuff was in case people hadn't in case people hadn't seen the new update, like they didn't want to go into the experimental branch. Which I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, you get the content early. I guess if you don't want to bug your game or whatever, that might be a reason. 50 nobelisks there, 50 nobelisks there, 50 nobelisks there, and 50 nobelisks there. So we've currently got, what, 200? Okay. That's not a good number. I'm going to take these down, and then we're going to go into my sandbox game for a little bit. And if we have time, we'll come back and do our finish up our ammo factory. But yeah, I just wanted to address a thing having to do with trains, and I'd rather do it there because I can't delete stuff in this world. So. You know, that should be a mod, to be honest. Is a mod that doesn't allow you to delete stuff. That'd be a funny mod. Be like the no deletion challenge. I came up with that on my own, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one to come up with something like that, or come up with that specifically. Who knows? I just thought a no deletion challenge would be fun, which it was for a while. And it's kind of cool to have like instead of repurposing things or repurposing areas, it's kind of cool to be like, oh yeah, this is my old power station. Look at it, man. This is how many things we used to have over here. Used to help out, stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna go to the new game, or to the we're gonna go to the sandbox game, so we can play with some stuff. Just real quick, like. Okay, so here we are on my sandbox world. As you can see, it's just a sandbox world. These poles aren't connected to anything, but I'm still getting electricity from them. I also learned something new today before we continue on. So if you just hold a pole, don't place it, but if you just hold it, watch this. I can fly forever if you have no power cost and all that. It just stays with me. If I put too far away, bring it back. Don't even place it. It's actually really cool. I just discovered that. That's a pretty nice little touch. I don't have to put poles all the way across the world just so I can fly. Yeah, this is my sandbox world, basically, where I just play around with shit and have fun. Okay. Alright, so somebody had asked about path signals and, was there, just a general purpose or general rule of thumb, I guess, on how to use path signals. So I thought we'd just talk about the whole thing, right? Okay, so here we have two typical stations that you might have in your game. Obviously, this train station and this is a freight platform, and this is a fluid freight platform. This is just an empty platform. You don't have to do this, but it'd be a good idea to do that. That way, your whole train is in a station. But if you don't have the room, don't worry about it. So yeah, we've got on this side as well. This is what you would call a push-pull system. So just to explain for anybody who doesn't know, let's pull this train out actually, just real quick. There we go. Okay. So this is a push-pull. This is what you call the push-pull system, which is a train. You got one train facing this way and one train facing this way, and then cars in the middle. So, and it doesn't matter the length of the car. Yeah, it does not matter the length of your trains. I used to have a game when I had a 50 car train. He didn't have any use, but it was cool, and it was a push-pull system as well. I had to put, I think I put like 4 locomotives on each end just so it could move quickly because it was so heavy. I don't know if that's a thing anymore, if the weight matters. But it seemed to matter. It seemed the more trains I put on it, the faster it got up and got to speed. So, anyway. So yeah, we've got just your typical push-pull system, the common one that I use anyway. So yeah, just your push-pull system. The reason I use this is just because you don't have to build a dual track. Or you don't have to go out of your way to make this work. So, if you didn't have this push-pull system, but you had this set up this way, what you'd have to do then is you'd have to pull your rails out from one end of the station and do like this. Actually, let's just get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. And we'll put a few brakes. So this is how you make junctions, by the way, is you got to have a break in the track somewhere. That's fine. Okay, and then we can just, there we go. And then, so can we fit this? Okay, no, we cannot fit this. Kinda. But like I said, you have to go out of your way to connect your trains. It's just a typical, I'm not building this in any particular way, but so yeah, now we have an intersection here that we had to have. And a train like this would typically be, just be one train and then the 2 cars. That'd be your typical train, where it just goes a single direction, and that's it. So basically, what it's going to do is, if we drive this forward here, if this was automatic, I guess we could set it up. Hold on. I'm not a very good tutorial person. I am terrible at tutorials, at making tutorials and having people watch them. I am terrible at it. This is why I don't do it. Okay, save changes, turn on self-driving. Okay, so this is just your typical train. So yeah, what it's going to do is it's going to go, okay, I need to go to this station. I guess it's going to go to this station first, that's fine. It can go whichever way it wants. Let's see. And the direction of the station does matter to your track. So if you have a single train like this train is only going to stop at the station if it's facing into the station the correct way. That's why there's a direction on the station. So you see that big orange arrow in the middle? Might actually do this. If we go to options, go to gameplay, go to video, controls, video. Is it not in video? No, it's in. Is it in gameplay? No, it's not in game. Oh, user interface. That's right. Okay, user interface. There we go. Let's edit this, and I'm going to change this to fully white. Might as well. Okay. Then we'll go to train station again. Okay, so you see how it's pointing to the left here, right? We'll just go ahead and build that. And then let's build a little bit of a track out. And then we'll put a train on it. And maybe a single car. That's fine. So yeah, the way this station is faced, this train can only stop at this station when it's facing this direction. When it's facing with that arrow. That's why placing your stations, the direction you need to place them matters. The other thing about train stations, get rid of this. The other thing about train stations is you cannot place these down. You see this? It says it must be placed in line with another train platform. That should honestly say train station. So let's make a little bit of room here. We can play with this. So we want our train station going to the left because we want our train station to come in that way. And this is what it means. So it means that you can only place this in line with or connected to a train station. You cannot do this. I've tried this. You cannot do this, even if it's the exact length and it's perfectly straight. See, that's exactly the exact length, and it's close to the exact length. You cannot do that and then connect this on the end. As you can see, it does not work. I wish they'd allow that, but that's why the empty platforms exist. This empty platform, and then there's also this one if you want the catwalks. So you can do either of those. And then, yeah, you can price. So this is how you get your train stations in line, right? Okay, so, yeah, that's one of the things there. So that's why the train station, or that's why the trains are actually very, very smart in this game, so they should know which they'll know which train stations they can access, and you cannot put a train station that's not part of your loop or that's not faced there. If the train station cannot be accessed, like if this did not go this way, it just went in a loop, the train would never be able to stop at that station. But as you can see, it's going to go this way, and now it's going to stop at that station. And this is a single direction train. The push-pull system, those are called bi-directional trains, which means they can go in any direction. So yeah, let's talk about bi-directional for a moment. Oh wait, Oh, it's because it's docking. That might be because that you're not allowed to remove it while it's... No, I cannot remove it. Okay. Come here. Turn off self-driving. And then it would have went this way in order to stop at that station. Give me, and give me, and give me. Okay. I'm going to disconnect this. Just pretend like these rails don't exist. Okay. They don't go anywhere, so... Right, let's put our... That bug does still exist. Whoops. So let's talk about bidirectional for just one quick minute. Okay. Grab a couple of these. I'll put this on the other end. Okay, so bidirectional... when you're setting up bi-directional railways with the stations and stuff, you want the stations to mimic each other exactly. Otherwise, you'll have cross-contamination. Unless you don't care, then it doesn't matter. All right, so you see how I set these stations up actually. So this station, it's a train station. Then right behind is a fluid platform and a regular freight platform. So if these were to be loaded up, I don't have any fluids, unfortunately. I guess I could. I could pull some like water or something. I don't have any, like I said, I don't have any liquids nearby. So yeah, when this loads, this one's going to have the freight, which is just anything that's a solid or anything that's liquid inside of a solid, like packaged fluids and stuff. And then this one's going to be straight fluid, so it's going to give a fluid container when it gets loaded. And then when you set up your next station, whether it's the last station or the next station in line, you want this to be exact. So so when this station, so this is how you got to think about it. So think about it when this train, so right behind this car, this would probably actually be easy as well. We paint this one black, and then paint. I also have done this method as well. Painting your train ends, if you're doing bidirectional, then it'll be easier to understand or easier to figure out. So behind the black train is the freight platform and the regular freight, and then the fluid freight right behind that. So when you set up your next station, you want to think about it this way: when this train pulls into the station, which car is going to be where? And you can this also applies with multiple freight platforms or multiple fluid freight platforms, or a mix of the two. Doesn't matter how long your train is, it really doesn't. Just as long as your station holds your entire train, for the most part. So when the station pulls in here, the regular freight's going to be on this end, and the fluid's going to be on this end. The fluid's going to be on the right behind the white, and this one's going to be right behind the black. So that's kind of how I set them up in my games, just to kind of keep an idea of where I want my trains and stuff like that. So that's just basically how bidirectional railways work. You also do need the stations pointing away from each other in a track sense. Think of it as in a straight line. Don't think of it as in a 3D environment. Think of it as a 2D environment. It's just a perfectly straight line. So this railway would face this, or this train would face this direction. This train would face away from the other one. Technically, in a technical sense, it's not in a 3D environment or based on the directions. It really doesn't matter. Like I could have this. Let's go over here. So I could have this station facing toward me, so facing to the left. I got more room over here. These train stations are really massive. There we go. So yeah, direction. Like I said, why does it keep dropping my connection? There we go. So I can have both train stations facing the same direction, But as long as they're facing away from each other in a rail sense, let's go out this way a bit, and then do that way, and then do that way. I'm terrible at this. There we go. It doesn't matter, just as long as each end is facing away from each other. I don't really know how to explain that any better, per se. Yeah, this thing's with the no cost, it's kind of broken. So yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter. Just as long as you have a train on each end. That's bi-directional railways means two things. It could either mean a push-pull system or so we'll understand junctions here, or this train can be a single direction railway, but it could be bi-directional, which trains very fiddly. Which could have a junction in it like this, connected to that. And then this train can go this way and end up on the same rail. Like this. It could go this way and then swap directions and go this way. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah. You can have one railway for two different directions of trains, so and that'll work as well. It really doesn't matter. It's just up to you, really. If you want to have a dual track, or if you want to have a single track with a push-pull system like this, a train on each end, or if you want to have a, like I said, if you want to have a single train with multiple cars, but you only want it to go one direction, then you kind of have to set it up. You kind of have to set it up like this. Like I had set it up. Something like that. So yeah, if you only wanted one train like this, you'd have to set that up like that. Okay. So let's set this up here. So this is what basically what a push-pull system does. Is it just goes back and forth between stations. So yeah, once this train gets loaded up, it's going to try and dock. Just go ahead and cancel that, actually. Alright, cancel docking. So just pretend it's got cargo, and then it's going to go over here. It's going to go to these ones. It's going to drop them off here. But yeah, and a push-pull system can still work with multiple stations. So just like on my world, where I have like several different stations on that one rail, I got, and it doesn't matter which direction the stations are, just as long as it either loads or unloads in the direction you want it to go, and it picks up the materials you want to pick up. So yeah, that's just bi-directional. It doesn't, hopefully that kind of explains some things. Just go ahead and get rid of these. Okay. And then, yeah, so we'll go over here. Let's get rid of these real quick. Like I said, I am terrible at tutorials. Terrible teacher. I don't know how to articulate everything. I'm too stupid for that. Don't want to die. For some reason, my console commands don't work on this game, so that's why I kind of have to use Satisfactory calculator. Good thing there. Just gonna put some poles down. Fly over here. So let's stretch out our railway here, and let me get a few things set up. Okay, this is the best I can create. Just again, imagine, just use your imagination that these stations are very, very far away from each other. Otherwise, it would be kind of stupid to do this when we could just belt across. So, okay, so this is how you would set up a push-pull system with multiple when you have multiple stations. So let's pretend for a moment. And again, we'll color our trains just real quick. And let's pretend for a moment that this is base, right? This is home base. We got our three freight. We got our three freight station here. 3-car train. Like I said, it really doesn't matter how long the station is, just as long as everything's correct. And let's say that this one is a material, this one's a material, this one's a material. We want to keep those separate, so at least I do. All right, so and we want to pick up. We want to pick up 3 different materials at these 2 different stations. I should have put 3 stations, but it's fine. It doesn't matter how many stations, just as long as, like I said, as long as everything's set up on the timetable the way you want. I didn't name these. I should have named them, to be honest. Let's see what this one name is. Okay, this one's Venray. And what's this one? And this one's something C. Okay. So edit our timetable. We want to go to Venray first, and then we want to go to whatever the hell this is, because that's the end station, and then this is home base here. It's Breda C. This is home base, so we want that to be the last station it encounters. So let's go ahead and turn on self-driving. Oh, oops. We want Venray, this one. Save changes. Don't forget to save. Okay. Since I got my station set up this way, it really doesn't matter which way they face, just as long as you hit all your stations and then you head home. So yeah, what this is going to do, let's say this is a material and this is a material, right? But I don't have the material for the 3rd station, that's why I have another station over here. So I got this one and this one, just keep them separate. So now it's going to dock with this material and this material, put them on that car and that car, and it's going to leave the middle car is not going to get anything because I don't have the material here. I have the material over at this station. So this is how you would set this up with a push-pull system, because a push-pull system goes both directions. You want to make sure that the train either cannot turn around and go back. Like this train can never end up at home base station. Can never end up in the station on the front end. This train will always be the back end of it. So it'll be the front end of it going back into base. So it just now all 3 materials are loaded. So now this train's going to go all the way back. I had to have plenty of room to spread this out. And this train's going to go all the way back, and then it's going to get unloaded. And as you can see, it never changes directions. This train never ends up over at this station here. You can have that happen, but you're going to get your materials mixed up if you have something like this. If you have multiple stations, if it's only 1 car in between the 2, it don't freaking matter. You could have it switch directions at the end and come back, and it wouldn't matter because it's only 1. Or if you have 2 cars that are the same material, 2, 3 cars, 5 cars, 100 cars that are all the same material, it doesn't matter at that point. But if you have different materials and you don't want them getting mixed up, I would suggest like this. So you put your train station down first, and then you put your, okay, I want this one material. It's always best as well just to color. So what I do, like I said, I color these trains, but I also write down. So I say, okay, so it's going to be white train. Let's say this one's going to be quartz, and then this one's going to be iron ingots, and then this one's going to be copper. And the iron is in the middle, the quartz is on the white end, and the copper's on the black end. So yeah, so that totally works, just like that. And you can have this train switch directions and go this way, but it has to have a point since it's a push-pull system, and we want all the materials to end up the same way. we have to have a point, and if you have a loop or something, you have to have a point where the train station swaps directions so that it always ends up the correct direction when it goes back to base. And see, you can never stop at this station again. It can never stop at that station. So that's how you do that. If you wanted the train to be a single direction to set up something like this, since it's only a single direction, here's what I would do. That's probably the only thing you could do, actually. So, yeah, you'd have to... Okay. Just needed a little room. Yeah. That'd be a little harder to set up. Like I said, I'm not a good tutorial man. I gotta think about it for a second. I don't know everything. Well, I know quite a lot about how the trains work in this game, much like Factorio and stuff like that. But so if you wanted this train, you would probably have to have another station to where it gets to where it could end up. It would be very, very strange to set up something like that. You'd probably have to have all these stations in line with each other. Like you can have this station facing the opposite direction. So you'd have to have that station. You wouldn't be able to have this connection here, basically. In between these two. You'd have to have this one come in. Yeah, you'd have to have this one come in like this. You'd have to remove that. And then it'd have to go like this. And then you'd have to have a loop on the other end going around your station. Or to another train station if you wanted it like that. Yeah, see, now it's not going to move because I got rid of I got rid of its ability. Really? That's too sharp. Seriously, game? It wasn't too sharp, you're just stupid. It's fine. Yeah, see, now it's going to work. So now the white train is always going to be the one end, so... so now it's going to stop at this station, then it's going to loop back around, stop at that station, and then stop at this station, loop back around. So now the train has a path, so now it's going to work. Okay. So that's the basic setup. Hopefully that gives you an idea of, well, I guess not the person personally, just anybody. Hopefully that gives you an idea. This is why I do push-pull systems, because I don't have to worry about a lot of different things. So yeah, I'm going to clean this up, and then we'll go ahead and set up some junctions and stuff. And that took a little bit of setting up, but let's see how she works. Okay, so here you have your typical base setup. I don't know if it's gonna be this crazy, but okay. So we've got one train station here. This receives two goods. This is a single direction train, so we have to have it come out the other end of the train and go back. And this is a bi-directional rail right here. So I'm going to show you why we need junctions, or why we need path signals and block signals. Just because you may be thinking, oh, why do they even exist? I mean, most people are gonna, play these types of games are gonna know, yeah, that's why we need block signals and path signals. But maybe somebody out there is like, yeah, why do we need them? Okay, so this is a bi-directional rail. It's got 3 stations. I actually need to set these up. I just thought I had them all named. I did name most of them. Wait, I named this one, didn't I? Hamburger Bloof. I don't even know. What is this name? Maybe I just didn't save it. You gotta hit enter. That's the thing you gotta remember, you gotta hit enter. Okay. So this should all be set up. I've renamed these. I renamed those A, or those are B and C. This one should be named A, I think. Yeah, just make sure to hit enter. Yeah, B and C. Okay, cool. Now we're ready. All right, bring it back. Okay. All right, so this is base A, or base B. And this one's base B as well. Whoops. This one should be base A. Let's fix that real quick. Okay, and then yeah, here we have our typical rail system. Just imagine this rail system is much, much longer than, than this. Okay. I don't know if the trains will, well, yeah, the trains should be able to allow without directional signals. Okay, we're going to set this up. So this one's going to be, we're going to edit the timetable. We want it to go to B, and then C, and then return to base B. Save changes. Turn on self-driving. Alright, so this one's going to go to B. So there she goes. Bi-Directional Railway. And it's going to pick up the first car, and then the second car, and then it's going to come back. Okay, we'll go over to this one. This one's base A, and that needs to go to A. That's it. Turn on self-driving. Oh, yeah, of course. So A, and then base A. Save changes. And there she goes. Okay. So you may think, cool, my trains are running. So now she's going to go to A, which A is over here. And let's see how this setup works. Working good so far, right? Not too bad. Yep, stopping at A, picking up the goods, and then it's going to go through this section. So this section, this is a shared intersection right here, a shared rail. So let's see what happens if we can. I don't think we're going to be causing anything, but we'll see. No, we're not. Everything's working. Okay, I don't think it's ever. It might not ever do what I think it's going to do. Do you think? Yeah, typical train setup. Very expensive train setup. Okay, that one's gonna go there. This one's gonna go up and over, just like normal. I messed up a little bit on putting it on the rails. Oh yeah, by the way, if you did not know, if you're gonna do inclines with foundations, they can only go up 2 meter. The train line can only go, that's as steep as it can go, is a 2 meter. Okay, we're gonna artificially create a situation. Turn off self-driving. Gotta wait a second here. Yeah, we're going to artificially create a situation. I'm going to let that train just go right on by. Sorry, we're just waiting around for that train. It would only take a few seconds, right? That's why I'm bad at tutorials. I don't know how to structure them. Okay, that should hopefully work. Oh, there we go. Okay. Train collision. Train and train have collided. He just straight up took out that. He's just like, yeah, screw you. So yeah, this is why you need path signals, because trains will collide eventually if they're on the same rail. And they actually made this easier. I think it used to be you had to like delete the train and put it back on the rail. Yeah, we can just re-rail that, and we'll re-rail that. Okay, and they turn off self-driving automatically. So this is why you need path signals. Turn on self-driving, you can start going again, and then you can start going again. Let's turn that on. You're gone. Alright, cool. So we artificially created that, but that would have happened eventually. We would have had to wait forever, but so we did that eventually. So with an intersection like this, I would use a path signal always if two trains share the same rail. So this rail right here, this is a shared rail between two trains, and here's the intersections for each of those. I'm actually going to let's make this there. The reason I'm doing that is because obviously path signals can only go where two chunks come together. So yeah, this is where I'd use path signals. But let's do the typical block signal setup. So let's just say we want a block signal, and yeah, we'll create a block. Since this is a single rail, we only need, or this is a single direction, we only need that. Oh, that was placed well. Okay, so block signal. So you can see there's actually a little arrow on the rail here that tells you which way they go, or which way they go. So that's going into the station. Obviously, this is leaving the station. So, and our train does go this way. So we're going to put a block signal there, and then that's going to create a block. So, and it's not going to work because you only have one block signal. So that there's no way to actually put in a section. And when you're putting up block signals or path signals, the one thing you want to avoid is making a block section too short for a train. You want the train to be able to fit in the block section in most cases. Okay, so we're going to put a block section here. And as you can see, that has now turned this section of track orange. This is a block as well. So this is a block. Obviously, the train cannot move against this signal because there's only one. So yes, this right here is a block. So typically, if you just want to use block signals, this is a dual rail, so we need one on this is a bi-directional rail, so we need one on either side. Okay, so this is what block sections do. So that train has now gone through the block section, and these block sections are now blocked up because there's a train in the block section. So that's a yellow section, this is an orange section, this is a red section. Everything in red is one block. So if I was to leave it like this, this train would never be able to go unless that train was in this section right here. It would never be able to go. See, it's going to stop here at the block section. It's going to go, oh, I can't go because this train is in this block section. This is the problem with block sections when you have either bi-directional rails or multiple trains that share the same rail in a lot of different areas. Now, it will work when we put more block sections down to block it off more, or to block it more. But see, this train can still not go. Even though it clearly has a room, it can just go right from here to here. Well, it's not going to be able to do that because it goes, okay, that train is, this entire red section is all one block. So here's what I'm going to do. Since this train goes this way, I'm going to put a block section right here. That's going to turn this whole rail yellow. See, now this train can go because it's just like, okay, the block section is clear. But this train's never going to be able to go. And the reason is because this section, this red section here, contains this whole thing. So we're going to put a block section. And remember, we need, since this is a bi-directional rail, we have to have that. So that now turned this block section is all green. This one is now red, just this section. The one thing you never want to do is put block sections on this side. You don't want trains stopping on a shared line. You don't want the train to be stopped on the shared line, because if it ever stops and it's waiting for, say, like we had two trains here somewhere for some reason. We had two trains on the same rail. If it had to wait for the next block section to clear, then this train would never be able to go because this train's here waiting, and then that train would never be able to go because there's another train on this block section, and you just create a you would create a stalemate essentially. So yeah, that's block sections in a nutshell. They're easy enough to understand, and they obviously paint the colors for you. So yeah, and we could leave it like this, and it would more than likely it would run fine, because there's only two trains and whatnot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use path signals. Now, path signals they're a little more advanced than just simple block signals. Path signals is if you got two trains trying to come into the same section of rail, but they often meet up or whatever. You got two trains or more on this complex intersection here. I'm actually going to remove this, and I'm going to we'll do it this way. So let's do that, and then we'll do that. Okay, there we go. So let's have another train goes that way. Basically what I'm doing is I'm making the intersection more complicated. And then this one will be, let's just say this one's A. We'll just stick that there, that's fine. And we'll do this. We'll delete this so we can actually hook it up. Actually, I don't know if it's possible to hook it up from here. See? Maybe too close. I think it's too close here. Yeah, it's way too close. This is why I cut this out. Because it's just like, shit, it's too close. And now that should work. Alright. Please. Please, game. It's being a pain. Trains are very, very fiddly. Okay, we just won't worry about that then. So I can't hook it up. And then, yeah, this will just be we'll just have a push-pull train here. Empty platform. You know what, freight platform's fine. Just like that. And then, boop, there we go. Yeah, just pretty much just fine, okay. And again, we'll put down another train. So yeah, block signals with 2 trains is probably just fine, to be honest, in most cases. But, okay. Let's move this train a little bit further forward. There we go. Alright. So yeah, we'll put a block signal in here, since it's bi-directional. So yeah, this whole section right here we want to be yeah, so now our if we look at our block signal there, so now our intersection is becoming a little more complicated. And since these two aren't named, they're going to be able to know. So edit timetable, bang bang, save changes, go. Turn on self-driving. Turn off self-driving, edit timetable, save changes, turn on self-driving. So yeah, our train line is getting a little more complicated now. We've got more directions to go. We've got more trains and stuff like that. Definitely something like this, I would have path signals. Like I said, path signals are just the path signals are it's just more advanced. They're more advanced block signals, so they act just like a block signal, but instead of just blocking off when a train is in this section. Actually, we'll show you this. Let's. I'm going to just pull a train. I'll just put a train here for demonstration purposes. Oh, and then we want to. Let's pull this out just a little, just a hair. Just 1 second, everybody. Everybody hold on. This will be a bi-directional rail, so I'll just put block signals on each side. So you can see these two trains just tried to enter the same block all at the same time. I mean, they did stop. So now these two are going to go. And it's just like, oh, nope, there's a train that train got into the block a little bit quicker than the other one did. So you can see these trains are having a little bit of a rough go of it. They're just like, no, it's getting complicated. But yeah, see all these path signals. So let me enter the block here. So yeah, if a single train is sitting in this block as well, none of these trains can go. The train's crawling forward, and none of them can go because there's a train in this block. So since there's a train in the block, in the red section here, none of these trains are going to be able to go. It's getting really complicated, like I said. This is something I definitely I would definitely have a path signal instead. Alright, let's get out of... Oop. No. Need to swap directions here. Move forward. There we go. Let's put my little train. There we go. And the reason, yeah, you would use path signals is because the train can reserve a bunch of blocks before they get there. So the train can look at a path. It can look at a set of blocks and go, okay, I want to reserve this block to this block to this block, you know, things like that. But yeah, as you can see, it functions. It does function. We'll say that. It does definitely function. But when two trains come to the same intersection near each other, one of them's going to be in the block section before the other, so then the other one's going to have to it'll just have to stop. It'll know before it gets there. And whatnot, but I'd rather use, I would typically use a path signal on something like this. So that the train can reserve, and then the trains know, or they've already reserved it, so then they know where they're going to stop and stuff like that. So now we cleared out the block signal. But yeah, this is why you'd use block signals for advanced stuff like this. So now we're going to try this. This works pretty good. This works pretty good. We'll say that. It does work good. See, everything is blocked until the train clears. Everything clears up. Okay. So now we're going to put in path signals instead. So path signal. This leads into a station, so I'm not going to do that. This one needs to be a block signal, or does it be a block signal, or path signal, I mean. So path signal, the only reason I put a block signal was just so that it blocks the station off. Yeah, this is typically where I'd use a general rule. Is intersections mainly, I would use path signals. We still fix these. Path signal. Uh-oh. That train's just gonna go. Hopefully everything's fine. Okay. There we go. And now that we got... Okay, so we got that path signal, we got that path signal. This path signal going... Oh, we don't have a path signal on here yet. So this train's never going to stop. There we go. That should hopefully fix it. No? What am I missing here? Like I said, I'm stupid. What's this one? Oh, this is a block signal. Let's put a path signal instead. There you go. There we go. It was just that one. I just couldn't remember which ones I had path signaled or not. Yeah, so basically what's going to happen instead is the path signal, or the train's going to reserve the path to its station, or it's going to reserve the path as much as it can to its station. So then it doesn't have to stop, right? And all other trains, when one of these trains reserves this red section here, when a train reserves this red section first, all other trains have to stop. So you see how this train doesn't stop here? Like, this train would have been in this section already. And then this train would have had to stop, right? To allow this train to go. But, to allow this train to go into there. But since we have path signals instead, the trains can then reserve the path. And the reserve path is The best way to explain it for me, this is the way I understand it, is a path signal, when it reserves it, it's a first come, first served basis. So if you have a big old intersection like this, you can then trains can reserve the path, and then all other trains will wait. So let's say that this train coming here, this train just reserved this, right? It just reserved this red section to go through. If this train was coming up to this section and this train was coming up to that signal there, they all have to wait because this one had already reserved it. So this train has not reserved this path. It has not reserved the middle section. So this one, when it goes to move, it's going to reserve this middle section to go to this station. And it's going to say, okay, yeah, I reserved it. And if this train was here and this train again was here, since this one reserved it first, then all other trains have to wait for this red block section here. I know you probably are thinking, you don't have to explain this to me. I already know. I just wanted a general rule explanation, or a general rule where you'd use the path signals. And in my mind, the path signals, they just work so much better, because it allows the train to reserve. And the train, it doesn't matter if there's multiple blocks here. So if this block right here, this yellow block, also was sharing a track with another section, and let's say this green block was also sharing, this train could reserve the yellow block, the red block, and the green block all to itself. And then any other train trying to enter any of those blocks would then have to wait. See, it's a first come, first served basis. That one reserved it first, so now it's going to go through, and then this train has to wait. Okay, now it's clear of the block. And that just works so much better because the train then knows it can go straight through, and it don't have to slow down or stop, especially if if a train was waiting here, and didn't realize it pushed the ghost. That's funny. Look at that. That's cool. I didn't know it did that. And a train was coming through here. This train would have to wait until this train fully leaves the block, right? But if it was about to leave the block, this train would still stop or slow down to a stop, or almost slow down to a stop. Kind of like when you're coming up to a stoplight, you think you need to stop because you think it's going to stay red by the time you get there, and then it turns green right before you come to a complete stop, and it's so annoying. It's the same deal here. Yeah, it is the same deal here. So, yeah. The only thing I would say with path signals, though, is if you have a train like I do, my maintenance train that I have in my world, which would be this one right here. If you have path signals set up on your rail lines and stuff like that, multiple intersections, what I would do is set a destination and let the train do the driving. Let the AI do the driving. Because with normal block signals, you'll be able to see the marker and you'll go, okay, a train is in that block, I should not go. You can come up to that signal and stop just like the AI does. But if you have path signals, the path signals don't always reveal fully. They're not always going to be revealed that a train, it could say a check mark, and that just means the train has reserved that block. And if you enter a block that has been reserved by a train and the train's already in there, and it's already reserved and it's already going, you're going to cause a crash if you're manually driving. So if you do it with the AI, the other AI trains will respect your train's AI as well, as if it was just part of the family. So yeah, this is a very complicated intersection. It can get extremely complicated as well when you have multiple trains, especially if you have a base. Where you have multiple trains delivering different things, different goods, and all that. You're going to end up with a lot of different stuff going on at one time. So I'd use block signals mainly for intersections. Also, path signals are really good for bi-directional railways, especially if all these were bi-directional. It would be even more smooth in the operation because, like as you see with mine, the bi-directional rails. So look at this. This is a good example here of path signal. So that one reserved it first before this one could. If this was a block section, they both would try to come to a stop because this one would be partially in the block, or they would have both came up to the block thinking it was clear because it's both clear, and then that train, whichever train came into the block first, the other one would have to stop, and then it would be halfway in the block already, and it might have not been able to stop in time. If two trains come to a block at the same time, the game is going to randomly choose one to be able to go, and the other one has to stop, and it's just a mess. But with path signals, the train can reserve the blocks in advance, and then no other trains can enter those blocks because the one train has reserved, and all others hadn't reserved yet. So it's just a lot smoother intersection running and stuff like that. But also just remember, so like this. This is a good example here. So this is the block signal. We'll take this out. Just remember, you cannot have path signals leading into a station. You cannot have a station in the block that this path signal is for. So this path signal is for this green path here. You cannot have this. They do not allow that. Yeah, path block cannot contain stations. So just remember that you need a block station or a block signal instead. If you want to reserve that. And I would put, if you do have multiple trains on a line, if they are sharing a station, this is where the block signal would come into play for being at the station here. I just do it anyway, because then it cuts off. If I didn't have this here, no other train could enter this block. As you can see, it's all red. No other train can enter this block because, well, for one, obviously the path signals that this block section is containing a station. But had they still be working, no train is going to be able to enter this section until that train enters that yellow block right there. So I always put a block section or a block signal right before a station, either right at the edge of the station. That's only if the train can fully fit in there. Otherwise it'd be a little bit earlier, kind of like these signals here. So this block signal cuts off the intersection for the rest of this rail. And this block signal is a little bit before the station. If the train could not fit in here, that's perfect. But like I said, the block section, if you're going to create a block section, make sure that your trains can fit fully in that block section in case they need to stop, except for intersections like this. You do not want your trains ever stopping in an intersection for some weird reason that they might. That's why I don't put my I only put path or block signals, path signal stuff. I only put 2 signals on each side of the rail when it's a bi-directional railway. That's the only time. And again, you want to be careful with this, because if there's 2 trains on this line here, sharing this line and sharing these stations and stuff like that, this train could ultimately be stopped here. And if I was to put a train in there, this train would stop here, trying to go that way. It would stop here, and it'd never be able to go anywhere because that train can't go anywhere because it can't get back to this station over here. So that's basically, but yeah, as a general rule, that's what you're asking for anyway. As a general rule, I would use path signals if I've got multiple trains. Obviously, if I've got an intersection, I just use a path signal, and then the train can reserve the path. It can reserve the intersection before the rest of the trains get there, and then all the other trains have to wait. I guess the only time I wouldn't use something like that is if I only had 2 trains, and one train was like this, you know, really short distance, just transferring between stations that are really close together, I would probably just use a block signal for that. That way this train doesn't have to wait around for, say, this train. If this train reserves this block, that train has to wait forever, right? So that's probably the only point I just use straight block signals, because this train can just go back and forth happily multiple times, and then this train never reserves that block. Now, the other point I would use path signals instead of block signals is if you have a long rail line like this. So let's just say you have a really long rail line, right? Which I had and I discovered this later on as well in that series, or in the season 2 that's going on right now. I did figure out that this is probably the better way. So let's use a path signal. Okay, there's a path signal already in there. Let's shorten this up just a little bit. There we go. Oh, that turned to purple. Path signal. Block signal. That one's got a path signal, right? Yeah, path signal. Okay. Oh. Hold on. Yeah, I want a block signal here going into it. What's wrong with you? So you are a block signal. Ah, that's why. That signal. Okay, there we go. That fixed it. I was just like, what the heck's wrong with you? Okay, and then that'll turn this one. It's now purple. And I'll turn that one in there. But yeah, if you have a long rail line like this, I would use either path signals or block signals. I don't think there's much of a difference between the two in this section, but yeah, block signals are fine, or path signals. They're okay. Either or. The reason is so that a train, if the train is going long distances, and you got multiple trains using a long section of line like I do, probably path signals are probably better, to be honest. But you can use block signals as well. So when a train enters this block, that frees up this block, so a train that was coming this way, so let's say we have a train here, right? The train's waiting at the station, and there's another train traveling along this same line going this direction. This train can wait here, this train will pass through here, it'll clear this block, go into this next one, and then this one can go, and then this one can continue on. And it might end up in a situation where the trains will be on the same track going the same direction, a distance away from each other, but being able to go, not having to wait. Because if this was all, say, purple, these 3 blocks were all purple, this train coming this way has to wait here, while this entire line has a train in it, all the way to the station. Let's say the station's like way the heck out there somewhere, that kind of stuff. So yeah, you could use path signals and block signals for that. That doesn't really matter. And yeah, like you were asking before, and I think I've said it a few times, but I don't remember. The train length does not matter, per se. In fact, I would establish your train length with all your train stations and stuff before you start putting block signals in. So again, like I said, if it comes to a situation where your train has to sit on a block and wait for another train, always have your block signals to fit your entire train. And this is a really good example of this. So you see this block here, and since the train is right here, you see this block here is all orange right here. this would not work if I say, let's do this. That's going to break everything, but yeah. So if I have that, and then we'll have a path signal leading out. Let's say I set it up that way, right? This train now reserves this block until it enters its other station. So you can see that the train, when it comes back the other way, it's going to block off the entire. It's going to block off the entire deal. Okay, so this train's like, okay, clear. Yep, I reserved all the blocks. I'm going to go through. What's wrong with you? This train's not going anymore. I think I might have glitched it. Yeah, why aren't you moving, buddy? Got something wrong with you? I don't know why this one's not moving. Is it broken? Let's see. Oh, that actually did work. Okay. Interesting. I was for sure that if you had it set up like that, this train would never be able to dock fully into that station. Okay, so if that's the case and that train still went, I mean, these trains are pretty smart. I do want to test something. Let's turn off the self-driving real quick. Let's do a little science. Oops. Turn off self-driving. Okay. Let's do a little science, shall we? Okay. There we go. Okay, this train still fits in a block. Turn on self-driving. I want to test something real quick, right? So this train went through when this train was in this station. Let's see if it's smart enough to know. Oh, looks like it is. Yeah, there we go. There's the example I was trying to put out. So as you can see, even though this is a path signal, even though it is trying to reserve this path, it can't go because this train is now blocking. It's actually pretty smart. I thought that would happen, but that had to happen with a slightly longer train, apparently. Okay, and that one clears. Okay, let's see what happens here. So there's that train. That train is broken entirely. I do not know why. It like refuses to move. What's its next station? Oh, its next station is base A. Okay, let's see how smart this is. Do a little bit of science work, right? That's pretty cool. I like doing science with trains. Science with trains is fine. Oh, yep. Yep, there we go. See, that's why. That's why you want your trains to fit into your block sections. Is because the train cannot fit fully into here. And the trains are smart enough with the path signals and the block, either plus path signal or block signal, that doesn't matter. But it's smart enough to know that it cannot fit inside there. That the train is going to crash or cause a crash. So yeah, like I said, the trains are pretty smart. They're a lot more smart than they used to be. At least that one's going now. But they're a lot more smart than they used to be. Okay, that one's now reserved. But yeah, now I will turn off self-driving. I will show you why here in a minute. Okay, that should be close enough. Yeah, I will show you why you don't manually drive when you got pass signal sets. All right, let's just say let's just go and let's just say we can't see that other train. Whoops. Yep. Because this signal, even though it's still red, this signal, a pass signal, is never going to tell you when you can go when you're manually driving. This is why you don't manually drive. This train had reserved this path already, so it was already going. And since it couldn't, since this train had already reserved the path, so it was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go, and then it doesn't know that you're driving a train you're in the block. And the train didn't even try to stop, so. Let's go ahead and back up. Back right on out. And it's the same with both as well. That's so much nicer. That's so nice that you don't have to pick up all the crap. I think this train station's like glitched or something. Oh, you know what it might be. Let's put a path signal on this side. This might fix it. Even though there's no problem here. Did that fix it? Maybe. That should have fixed it. Put a block signal in here. There we go. Maybe. Now, for some reason, this one's just refusing to go. I don't understand. Like it hates it. it hates its life. I think I've glitched the system. I've glitched this train. Like I said, this train hates its life right now, and I don't know why. Yeah, we shouldn't need a block signal there. This train should just go. And actually, here's a good example. Okay, so once that reserves, we're going to start going. So yeah, see, that reserved its own station. But if we could not see this other train, because we're manually driving, we cause another crash. Re-rail. Re-rail. Turn on self-driving. And turn on self-driving. That all needs to go. If you're already in the block section, they respect it. But if you enter a block that's already been reserved by a train, see, even if I enter the block section, see, that train still goes. Okay, that train's like, okay. This is why if you have pass signals, block signals, the block signals will be able to tell you if something's in a block or not. But the path signals, the trains will not respect. They will not respect you being in a block if they reserve the block and then you enter it with another train. This is why you always want to have the AI drive with path signals. That's exactly why. Yeah, hopefully that was helpful. I'm going to save this world, of course. Is this factorio? Can I connect? Nope. Can I not? Can I really not connect that? That's kind of bullshit, huh? You should be able to connect. I mean, come on now. No, you have to place them. Looks like, unless there's a secret button that I don't know about. No, no timetable. Hold on, edit timetable. Bang and bang. Save changes. Alright, cool. That's now fixed. So yeah, you want your... Let's remove these. Lock signal. Going into the station. Because path signals cannot contain a station. Which is weird to me. I don't know why. Maybe there's a coding reason. Okay, hold on. Path signal. Block signal. Can I now place a block signal? It is refusing to let me place a block signal. Oh. Maybe it's because the train is in the way. Yeah, I think it's because the train's in the way. There we go. And everything's fixed. I don't know why this one's stuck here. This one should not be stuck here. It's because of these? So now we're back to where we were. Oh wait, let's remove this one. Yeah, this train is broken. I bugged the train. Let's see. I could probably fix it. Wait. Oh, maybe I gotta remove the entire train. Hold on. Let's remove the entire train, put down the locomotive, and then 2 freight cars. Okay, edit timetable. This one was base A, and then back to A, and then save changes. And turn off self-driving. Is path signal bugged? Maybe that path signal's bugged. Who knows? It's going now, though. Yeah, maybe it was the path signal that was bugged. Who knows? Anyway, just play around with it, you know. If you don't have a challenge like me where you can't delete stuff, then you can get that a little bit more. But yeah. Yep, you can use either for advanced intersections and stuff like that. I'd rather use the path signal so that the trains can reserve their own. They can reserve the blocks themselves, and then they can wait on others. Trains can wait on each other, and they'll know where they need to stop first off. And like I said, along a line, even though the trains are not sharing a line, like they're not coming into it and then exiting quickly. Like if they're sharing a really long line, I'd put path signals or block signals along there. Probably path signals is a little bit better. I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to do some more science on that, but yeah, block signals, path signals along long train lines, and then the train can then multiple trains going the same direction can then. I would probably do path signals as well, because if you do block signals, you might end up with two trains trying to reserve the same block, but they can't, and they can't back up. So, yeah. Let's actually set something like that up. So what I mean by that is, let's say you have a block signal and a block signal. So this is the other point where you would have, let's say, yeah, you got two trains on the same line. Okay. So you've got a train here trying to go this direction because it's coming from base, and then this one's coming this direction. This one's coming this direction because it just came back from delivering materials. It's like you have like two trains out getting materials because you don't have room but you need more than one train delivery. You need two train deliveries, and you can only have short stations or whatever. So maybe that's a good scenario. But if these two trains were to come at each other with block signals, then this would happen. This train would try to get into the block, and this train would try to get into the block at the same time, and then it would create a stalemate situation where the trains are trying to go into the block at the same time, going against each other, but since this train can't turn around, also this path signal is also broken. We'll fix it, don't worry. I think I just need to replace it. What is with this train not reserving paths? I don't get it. Wait, there's no train here. Oh, there's no train here though. That block signal is broken. Block signal. But there's no... Oh, there is a train on this. Let's put a path signal. Like that. Path signal, what's wrong with you? It has conflicting entry types. Oh, we need a path signal. Forget it. Let's just continue on with this. I'm actually going to... You used to be able to delete the rails with the trains underneath them. Okay. Let's just delete this, get rid of it. That should fix the whole thing. That's conflicting entry types. I don't think so. It was on the end of the rail. Hey, that train's going again. Maybe I just was just screwing with it or something. But yeah, so yeah, you'd create the stalemate here. So, instead of having this happen, so that we don't create a stalemate, I would also use a path signal here. I don't know if the trains can create stalemates anymore. I'm not sure about that. They used to be able to. But if they still can, then, just whatever. So now, let's take this and run with it that way. And create like a loop. Okay, we'll have to go a little bit wider, I think. Sorry, I'm just trying to create a loop here. Trying to create an example. Okay. And let's just say somewhere in this, somewhere over here, there's a station. Let's just say somewhere over here is a station. Okay. So then we're going to remove these block signals, and we're going to put a path signal. So there we go. So now, this train coming back this way, coming out of this station. Oops. Hold on 1 second. So can we do this? Is that allowed, game? No, it is not. Okay, it is not. So yeah, this train would come back here, and then let's say where that other train, that other locomotive is also a station, because I really don't have the room for more stations right up here. But yeah, this train just came from a station, or is in a station, and is coming from a station or whatever. We'll just remove that, but this one just came from a station, so now this one is going to reserve this whole section in between these two block stations. It's going to reserve that whole section if another train is at this other station here. It's going to stay at that station because this train has reserved this, and that other train has to wait. So, yeah, that's kind of how I'd set that up as well. Even with the push-pull system, I would have these. And then, yeah, the trains don't have to wait as long. They don't have to wait at their stations or whatever for long sections of track to be cleared before they can then start going that direction. This train is broken again. What is happening? It was working. It's not reserving the paths anymore. I don't know, maybe, like I said, maybe it's bugged. I got path signals entering, right? Entering this block section. Yeah. And it should be able to reserve. Okay. I don't know what is with this train. Like I said, it might be bugged. Either that or I've got something set up incorrectly, which I don't think I do, because otherwise you get a warning saying stuff. Oh, that's another thing too. You can't have block signals and path signals entering the same block, so you can't have like half of these path signals and the other half block signals. That the game won't allow that to happen. And this is a block signal here, and it's saying it can't enter this block because there's a train in it, but it's the same train. Okay, that's a bit weird. Let's do that. Maybe that'll fix it. Yeah, I must have had something set up earlier that I didn't have all of a sudden. That's fine. That should work now. This is a problem with block signals as well. But I have to have a block signal before the station because I can't have path signals. Anyway, I know that was a long-winded discussion and whatnot, and hopefully that helps. If it doesn't, apologies. Like I said, I'm not good at tutorials, and this information may be entirely 100% wrong. I'm also not confident in my own ability to dole out info. But yeah, So that's pretty much that with trains, and hopefully, but like I said, hopefully that does help with understanding path signals and block signals and where you should use either. Block signals, just think of it this way: a block signal is easy to put down, it's easy to use, but if you've got a very complex train network with multiple trains using same sections and same blocks and stuff like that, you got multiple trains trying to enter block sections and stuff like that, and it's just causing a kerfuffle, and it's just very, very complex. Use block signals for simple stuff, like block signal, just reserving block signals, like reserving blocks. Say you had two trains on the same line delivering the same stuff. Use block signals before the stations so that the other train doesn't run into this train. The other train doesn't run into this train trying to enter the station that the train's already in. That's where I'd use block signals mainly, is the train stations themselves. And then the path signals I use for intersections, long sections of track, just basically anywhere that trains share the same line that isn't a station. That's where I'd use path signals, because they're way more advanced. The trains can reserve it in advance. And I would say it's more true to real life as well, because say a train needs to make a delivery, a freight train needs to make a delivery, and it needs to use a section of track that another freight train wants to use. But hey, I called first. Can I reserve that section of track? And it goes, okay. And then the other train calls and say, hey, I need to reserve this section of track. Can I reserve it? And then that person, and then the conductor, not the conductor, but the person inside the train tower would be a good way of explaining it. Inside the command center, commanding this section of rail, would then say, no, you can't, because train this number has already reserved that section. You'll have to wait. That kind of stuff. So it's working as intended. Block signals for the simple blocking stuff. That's where I'd use it. Block signals just for the simple things. For the simple things in life, because they are simple. The way they work are simple. If a train is in a block between two block signals, if a train is in that block, no other trains can enter it until that train leaves the block fully. Path signal, I'm going to reserve the path, and then no other trains can enter that block until I've passed through that block. But any block section that's clear, the train can reserve. The train, if this block section has already been reserved by another train, this train can't enter it, yes, but this train, if there was a block section, say here, this is a block section, say without the station, this little section of rail is also a block, this train can then reserve all those blocks going this way until it gets to this one, which has already been reserved. So then it knows, okay, I can go this far before I have to stop. I don't have to wait, or I don't have to get up there and go, oh crap, there's a train in that block section, I can't enter it now. So I have to stop, and I have to wait for it to be fully clear. And so yeah, for the more advanced stuff like intersections and stuff like that, just use block signals. It just makes everything run smoother. But path signals also do work. It just, that's more for the simple stuff. They're like the dumbed down version of a path signal. That's where I'd use it. But anyway, I know this is a 2-hour video, so that's going to be it for this episode of Satisfactory. Like I said, I hope that helps. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. If the information is 100% completely wrong, just let me know. I'm pretty sure some of it is. Some of it's not 100% fully correct. This is all this has been the way I understand it, the way I understand how everything works here, and it's worked for me. So use what works for you. That's what I would say. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. And until next time, when we get back to our other save. I just wanted to kind of pull this out, and as you can tell, I love talking about trains. I love talking about cars, stuff like that. So when I'm passionate about something, I can talk about it forever. When I'm not interested, I don't say a damn word usually. But yeah, until next time, goodbye.